we didn't know what time it was because somebody had to go around both fun houses and mess with every single clock.
It's all coming together! You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
It's actually brilliant now that you think about it. If you want to mess with somebody, mess with their concept of time.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
How long have we been in the wrong time? If we're going based on Nekomaru's clock, then we were way off. How long was it wrong? How much are we off by? Maybe...
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough, we would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
I wonder if any of you saw it. The killer adjusted the time in both buildings. And we need to figure out, somehow, with the truth bullets that we have,
If the time in the building was all
how
messed
much
up,
time is off.
then we can only
I
rely
also
on
love how
Nekomaru's
Gundam
radio clock.
asks
Was
this.
clearly 7:30 a.m.
But what does that mean in our time? Right.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
Actually, I think
If
there
only I
are.
heard the sound when he fell.
Oh, wow. There it is.
I agree with that.
Somebody was paying attention to the time.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
He would have made a glorious crash.
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Really?
Huh?
Wait.
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
Why couldn't she hear it?
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Now, how did you come to that?
Huh? You can tell?
Right, can you explain that part?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
If she heard that at 5:30 a.m., then going by Nekomaru's clock, that's just 2 hours off.
I see! Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Okay, I like this. To lure Nekomaru. Because in actuality, he would be the only one who knew the real time.
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
What did they use? Well, if Nekomaru truly did know the time, then he would know that there's something we need to do every morning. And he would know not to be late.
I see! That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Come on, let us say something. Right. This is how we can explain it. We were all late to Monokuma Tai Chi because we were off by 2 whole hours. Nekomaru wasn't, and look what it did to him.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Aw, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Are you both done? You know what? I've never gotten a picture of Monami. There we go.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
I agree. Think about it, Hajime.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Yes.
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
I agree.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
Oh, just everybody at Grape House. Ah, shit.
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Guess what? Who does not have an alibi? Well, let's just take one quick look. He's the only one that didn't come out of his room.
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
Uh-oh.
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
You didn't.
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me.
Sonia didn't hear it either. So,
It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House,
right. She wouldn't have heard the alarm, but she didn't hear the rumbling noise.
but I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
Oh. Think.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
What do they all have in common? Oh my god.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
Yes!
You still don't know.
Come on!
Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I got it! Why didn't they hear a sound? Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki did not hear the rumbling noise. And in the case for Nagito, he couldn't hear the alarm going off. The three of them have one thing in common. And I know what it is. Hangman's Gambit, right? You're gonna have me spell it out for you. Okay.
Got it!